morning. Good Monday morning. It is March 30th. I can't believe March is almost over. And this is our third week of virtual learning. Hopefully you guys are staying safe, staying healthy, and not getting too bored. The district is handing out district homework, but if you guys are already, if you're on to Class Dojo and you're watching these videos and you're turning in your videos, you don't need to do the district homework. That's actually not even stuff that's going to be turned in necessarily. So just keep doing what you're doing on here. That's more important. So here is MD number 6 for MD4, teaching number 6. So let's get right to work here. It says, the table below shows the amount of time in hours each player used to complete their summer workouts. So here's all of their names. This is the time in hours. Part A, it says, make X's to complete the line plot that displays the data. So here you're having to actually take these spots here, the time, and put the plots, put the X's on your line plot here. So Aubrey is at 2.5. So I'm going to look at each section, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's cut into fourths. So I have to think about what is half. What is half? Excuse me, I have a sneeze coming on. So 2.5 is going to go here, and remember we're doing the X's above this is line plotting, so those X's go above. I'm going to cross that off. Bailey was 1 3/4, so 1 and 1, 2, 3/4, because it's cut up into quarters. Each one is 1/4. 2 2/4 for Ashlyn, so 2 2/4, 1, 2. Put an X above there, cross that off. 6/8. Okay, so now we need to go, I'm going to do it over here. So 6/8 equals how many fourths? Okay, so you're going to take 8 to 4. So how do we get from 8 to 4 multiplying or dividing? In this case, it's going to be division. So 8 divided by 2 is 4, so what we do to the bottom, we have to do the top. So 6 divided by 2 is 3. So 6/8 is equal to 3/4. So we're going to find 3/4 on there. 1, 2, 3/4. Put an X. 1 1/6, which means 1 3/4. So 1 and 1, 2, 3/4. Put that right there. 2 4/8. So if we do our 4/8 over here, 4/8 equals how many fourths? So 8 divided by 2. So we have to do that to the top. 4 divided by 2 equals 2. So 2/4. Some of you could recognize that 4 is half of 8 and already have automatically said, oh, I know that's equal to 1/2 or 2/4. So 2 2/4. 2 and 1/2. Cross that off. 2 1/4. So 2 and 1/4. Cross that off. And 1 1/2. 1 and 1, 2, because 1/2 equals 2/4 also. So that is part A. So you're done with part A. We're going to go on to part B. Enter each player's workout time into the chart below. So this really has nothing to do with your line plot at the moment. You just have to think, okay, is it less than, equal to, or more than 1.5? Okay, so 2.5 is greater. So you're going to put in Aubrey. One 3/4 is also more than 1.5. So Bailey is going to go here. Bailey. Ashlyn 2.5. So 2.5 is more. So we have Ashlyn. Melanie, 6/8 is going to be less. Melanie, 6/8. Cassidy is 1 6/8, but 6/8 is 3/4. So 1 3/4. 1 3/4 is greater than. So that was Melanie, Cassidy. Kennedy is 2.5. I think most of them are going to be up here, aren't they? Kennedy. Cassandra with a K, 2 1/4. So that is also greater. So Cassandra with a K. And Aaliyah, 1.5. So there is 1 that is equal to Aaliyah. And then part C. Part C says how much more time in hours did the player with the greatest amount of time take to complete the workout than the player with the least amount of time. So we're doing that more than. How much more than? So that means it's subtraction. So we're going to look at the highest. So the highest one was 2 2/4. So I'm just going to do the work off over here. This is part C. 2 2/4. And the least is 1 2 3/4. 3/4. Okay, so I'm going to I'm going to stack them. And you're going to remember that we have to borrow because we can't take 3 away from 2. So we're going to borrow from here. That's normal. Okay, we take 1 away from 2, leaves you with 2. Then we have to move that whole over here. But we are going to keep it in 4/4. We're going to put it in 4/4. So if I add 4/4, okay, if I add 4/4 to 2/4, that's going to give me 6. Okay, so I'm going to erase this. And 4 plus 2 is 6. Now I can take away. I can subtract. 6 take away 3 is 3. So 3/4. 1 take away 0 is 1. Okay, so your answer is 1 3/4 hours more. Okay, part D. How much time did the two players who spent the least amount of time spend on their work altogether? So we're going to take the 2 least. So that would be 1 2 3/4. So I'm going to do my work over here. 3/4 plus 1 1 2/4. 1 2/4. Can you guys see that still? Yep. Okay, so we're going to add these up. 3 plus 2, we're just adding the numerators. Denominators stay the same when you're adding. Just a reminder, denominator stays the same. 3 plus 2 is 5. So we have 5/4. Okay, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take 1 whole out of that. I can take 4/4 because this is improper. I don't want to leave the numerator greater than the denominator. So I'm going to take 4 out of here. So 5 take away 4 is 1. So it leaves 1/4 and I carry 1 whole over. So 1 2. So they together worked 2 1/4 hours together. All right. So now we get another chance to do teaching set number 2 here. Well, I mean number 6, but we have 2 problems. So here's another. The table below shows the amount of time in hours each student used to walk during recess. So Massimo, 1 3/4. Here's the time.
Here are the names. We're doing the same thing as we did in number 1. So we're going to plot our data. So 1 and 3/4, I'm going to count my sections. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is in eighths. So I'm going to put my answers in eighths so I can easily plot. Okay, so 3/4. If I take 3/4 equals how many eighths? Okay, so 4 times what is 8? 4 times 2 is 8. What I do to the bottom, I have to do to the top. 3 times 2 is 6. So this is 1 and 6/8. So 1 and 6/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6/8. Put my X. Okay, 1 and 2/4. I can look at 2/4, and I know that 2 is half of 4. So we could say this is 1 1/2, or I guess let's go ahead and put it into eighths. So if I have 2/4 equals how many eighths? 4 times 2 is 8, so the top is 2 times 2. So I'm going to put 6/8 next to my number here, and I'm going to put 4/8 next to my number there. So 1 and 4/8 is our next one. So 1 and 1, 2, 3, 4/8. Put that X. 6/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to cross these off as I go. 2 and 6/8. 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6/8. 1/2. Well, what's 1/2 of 8? And that's 4. So this equals 4/8. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, you cannot count the tick mark above 0. You have to count on 1, 2, 3, 4. 1/4, but 1/4, if we put it into eighths, 4 times 2 is 8, so 1 times 2 is 2. So 2/8. So 1/4 equals 2/8. 1, 2/8. Notice I don't count that tick mark. 1, 2. Okay, 1 and 7/8. So I'm going to go to my 1 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7/8. And another 1 and 7/8. So I'm just going to put it right above there. Now we have to put in, we have to put in the names. Less than, equal to, or greater than 2.5. Okay, 2.5. If we go 1/2, remember that if we went up here, 1/2 equals 4/8. So 2 and 4/8 is what we're looking for if we're looking in eighths. So 6/8, Massimo, that would be less. Massimo. Matthias is 1 and 4/8. So he's going to go less than. Oops, 2 T's. Matthias. Natalie, 6/8. So she's less than. Oh, these are all weird spellings. Natalie, 2 E's. Okay, Rigoberto is 2 and 6/8. So 2 and 6/8 is greater than. So Rigoberto, I'm just going to put Rigo. Amaya, 4/8. So she's down here. Ella's 2/8. So she's down here, less than. Jose is 1 and 7/8. He's less than. And Jesus is 1 and 7/8. So 2 and 4 there. Yep. All right. So part C. How much more time in hours did the student with the greatest amount of time take to walk to recess than the student with the least amount of time? So how much more then is the greatest than the least? So our greatest is 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6/8. So 2 and 6/8 is going to go over here. And our least amount is way down here, 1, 2/8. So minus 2/8. Oh, this one's easy. We don't have to borrow. 6 take away 2 is 4. Leave it over the denominator, 8. And 2 take away 0 is 2. So 2 and 4/8 hours. Part D. How much time did the two students who spent the least amount of time spend on their walks all together? So we look at the two least amount here. So that's 1 2/8. Let's do it. We can just do it over here. 2/8. And, excuse me, 1 2 3 4/8. So 2/8 plus 4/8. 2 plus 4, you could actually write it horizontal too, if that helps you. So you could write 2/8 plus 4/8, and that helps you also to see that you're just adding the numerators. 4 plus 2 is 6, and the denominator stays the same. 6/8. Okay, so now you have student set 6. You have a front and a back. So you have one on the front that has the A, B, C, and D parts, and then you have number 2 on the back side that has A, B, C, and D as well. If you have any questions, post them in the class story, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. See you tomorrow. Bye.